Hi, Ga! So you're new, and you're looking to enroll at the University of Mindanao. No problem. With UM's open education, you don't have to take an entrance exam. But how do you enroll? Step 1. Fill out your Student General Information Sheet or the SGIS and attach the requirements indicated in it through this link. Remember, you get to keep a reference number after the registration. Step 2. Use the reference number to pay your down payment through any bank, Bayad Center, or even fund transfer. You can also find the rest of the payment options in UM's official Facebook page. Once the payment is done, send a copy of your transaction with your full name and contact number to cashiermain@umindanao.edu.ph. Step 3. Wait for an SMS alert where you will receive your student account ID number and more details about your account. Step 4. With the previous step done, you may now log in to the UM student portal. Once inside, click on Online Enrollment found in the navigational menu. Then click on Enroll Course. Step 5. Choose your desired session if you'd like to take classes in the morning, afternoon, or the evening. Submit your choice and get your certificate of matriculation or the Form 1 to proceed to the last step. Step 6. Wait for issuance of your email address through the email stated in your SGIS. Finally, claim your UM Form 1 and ID at the admission office once the quarantine is lifted. And that's it! You are now officially enrolled. Welcome to the University of Mindanao.
As per Management Committee instruction presented in the Quality Management Council, the entire thing is designed as a hybrid mode of instructional delivery with online learning through the LMS as the primary platform during the pandemic transition. We have e-learning through email, SMS, and group chats. hands-on learning through smartphones, tablets, and other mobile devices. B-learning through Broadcast University on air. Correspondence learning, where the SIM or SDL manual can be picked up or arranged by courier. And finally, residential or F2F mode, depending on quarantine conditions. In short, students shall be encouraged to invest on the primary mode while taking advantage of the blenders. But don't worry, the school shall adapt to both asynchronous and synchronous learning, where students can keep up with class in their own convenient pace. So what are you waiting for? Enroll now at the University of Mindanao.
See you around, UMN! Hi, Ga! So you're new, and you're looking to enroll at the University of Mindanao. No problem. With UM's open education, you don't have to take an entrance exam. But how do you enroll? Step 1. Fill out your Student General Information Sheet or the SGIS and attach the requirements indicated in it through this link. Remember, you get to keep a reference number after the registration. Step 2. Use the reference number to pay your down payment through any bank, Bayad Center, or even fund transfer. You can also find the rest of the payment options in UM's official Facebook page. Once the payment is done, send a copy of your transaction with your full name and contact number to cashiermain@umindanao.edu.ph. Step 3. Wait for an SMS alert where you will receive your student account ID number and more details about your account. Step 4. With the previous step done, you may now log in to the UM student portal. Once inside, click on Online Enrollment found in the navigational menu. Then click on Enroll Course. Step 5. Choose your desired session if you'd like to take classes in the morning, afternoon, or the evening. Submit your choice and get your certificate of matriculation or the Form 1 to proceed to the last step. Step 6. Wait for issuance of your email address through the email stated in your SGIS. Finally, claim your UM Form 1 and ID at the admission office once the quarantine is lifted. And that's it! You are now officially enrolled. Welcome to the University of Mindanao.
As per Management Committee instruction presented in the Quality Management Council, the entire thing is designed as a hybrid mode of instructional delivery with online learning through the LMS as the primary platform during the pandemic transition. We have e-learning through email, SMS, and group chats, M-learning through smartphones, tablets, and other mobile devices, B-learning through Broadcast University on air, correspondence learning, where the SIM or SDL manual can be picked up or arranged by courier, and finally, residential or F2F mode, depending on quarantine conditions. In short, students shall be encouraged to invest on the primary mode while taking advantage of the blenders. But don't worry, the school shall adapt to both asynchronous and synchronous learning, where students can keep up with class in their own convenient pace. So what are you waiting for? Enroll now at the University of Mindanao.
See you around, UMN! Hi, Ga! So you're new, and you're looking to enroll at the University of Mindanao. No problem. With UM's open education, you don't have to take an entrance exam. But how do you enroll? Step 1. Fill out your Student General Information Sheet or the SGIS and attach the requirements indicated in it through this link. Remember, you get to keep a reference number after the registration. Step 2. Use the reference number to pay your down payment through any bank, buy-in center, or even fund transfer. You can also find the rest of the payment options in UM's official Facebook page. Once the payment is done, send a copy of your transaction with your full name and contact number to cashiermain@umindanao.edu.ph. Step 3. Wait for an SMS alert where you will receive your student account ID number and more details about your account. Step 4. With the previous step done, you may now log in to the UM Student Portal. Once inside, click on Online Enrollment found in the navigational menu. Then click on Enroll Course. Step 5. Choose your desired session if you'd like to take classes in the morning, afternoon, or the evening. Submit your choice and get your certificate of matriculation or the Form 1 to proceed to the last step. Step 6. Wait for issuance of your email address through the email stated in your SGIS. Finally, claim your UM Form 1 and ID at the admission office once the quarantine is lifted. And that's it! You are now officially enrolled. Welcome to the University of Mindanao.
per Management Committee instruction presented in the Quality Management Council, the entire thing is designed as a hybrid mode of instructional delivery with online learning through the LMS as the primary platform during the pandemic transition. We have e-learning through email, SMS, and group chats, and learning through smartphones, tablets, and other mobile devices. B-learning through Broadcast University on air. Correspondence learning, where the SIM or SDL manual can be picked up or arranged by courier. And finally, residential or F2F mode, depending on quarantine conditions. In short, students shall be encouraged to invest on the primary mode while taking advantage of the blenders. But don't worry, the school shall adapt to both asynchronous and synchronous learning, where students can keep up with class in their own convenient pace. So what are you waiting for? Enroll now at the University of Mindanao.
See you around, UMN! Hi, Ga! So you're new, and you're looking to enroll at the University of Mindanao. No problem. With UM's open education, you don't have to take an entrance exam. But how do you enroll? Step 1. Fill out your Student General Information Sheet or the SGIS and attach the requirements indicated in it through this link. Remember, you get to keep a reference number after the registration. Step 2. Use the reference number to pay your down payment through any bank, Bayad Center, or even fund transfer. You can also find the rest of the payment options in UM's official Facebook page. Once the payment is done, send a copy of your transaction with your full name and contact number to cashiermain@umindanao.edu.ph. Step 3. Wait for an SMS alert where you will receive your student account ID number and more details about your account. Step 4. With the previous step done, you may now log in to the UM student portal. Once inside, click on Online Enrollment found in the navigational menu. Then click on Enroll Course. Step 5. Choose your desired session if you'd like to take classes in the morning, afternoon, or the evening. Submit your choice and get your certificate of matriculation or the Form 1 to proceed to the last step. Step 6. Wait for issuance of your email address through the email stated in your SGIS. Finally, claim your UM Form 1 and ID at the admission office once the quarantine is lifted. And that's it! You are now officially enrolled. Welcome to the University of Mindanao.
As per Management Committee instruction presented in the Quality Management Council, the entire thing is designed as a hybrid mode of instructional delivery with online learning through the LMS as the primary platform during the pandemic transition. We have e-learning through email, SMS, and group chats, M-learning through smartphones, tablets, and other mobile devices, B-learning through Broadcast University on air, correspondence learning, where the SIM or SDL manual can be picked up or arranged by courier, and finally, residential or F2F mode, depending on quarantine conditions. In short, students shall be encouraged to invest on the primary mode while taking advantage of the blenders. But don't worry, the school shall adapt to both asynchronous and synchronous learning, where students can keep up with class in their own convenient pace. So what are you waiting for? Enroll now at the University of Mindanao.
See you around, UMN!
Good afternoon, dear senior high school teachers, career advocates, and also guidance counselors. Welcome to the University of Mindanao. And this is the remote virtual seminar for senior high school career advocates in the new normal. And we are now in our first session, and we are very excited to meet every one of you here through our Zoom webinar. And to start our seminar this afternoon, let's have first our opening prayer to be followed by the singing of the national anthem by University of Mindanao Karat.
Il Signore mi rende uno strumento della vostra pace.
Lord, make me understand of your peace.
Dove ci è odio, lasciarlo seminare l'amore.
Where there is hatred, let me so love.
Dove ci è ferita,
Where there is injury,
perdono.
pardon.
Dove ci è dubbio,
There is doubt,
fede. Dove ci è desperazione, sperare. Dove ci è nerezza, illuminarsi. Dove c'è la tristezza, oh, divine Master, grant that I may not so kayang magiliw, pero sa silanganan, alam ng puso, sa dibdib mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, duyan ka ng magiting, sa manlulupig, di ka pasisingil. Sa dagat at bundok, sa simuya, sa langit mang bagha, may dilagang tula at awit sa paglayang minamahal. Ang kislap ng matawat mo'y tagumpay na nagniningning, ang bituin at araw niyang kailan pa may di magdidilim. Lupa ng araw ng wala di pagsinta, buhay langit sa piling mo. Aming ligaya ng pag may mga api, ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
All right, again, good afternoon, participants. Good afternoon, our dear career advocates, senior high school teachers, and also guidance counselors from the different schools here in Davao or even here in the Davao region. All right. So, by the way, I am Benji D. Mainopas, your host for today's seminar. To formally open us in this remote virtual seminar for senior high school career advocates in the new normal, ladies and gentlemen, the Vice President for External Relations and International Affairs Office of the University of Mindanao, Dr. Reynaldo C. Castro. Virtual round of applause, please.
Thank you very much, Benji. Can you hear me, Benji?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Good afternoon to our guests, to our educators, to our guidance counselors. Thank you for responding, no, to our invitation. The COVID pandemic has dramatically changed the world, our lives, and the way we do things. One of the most affected sectors is from us, no? The education. Millions of students have stayed at home even longer than their parents and those who are more mature than them. Thanks to the resilient management of those of our respective organization, no? Of those who are in the top echelon of our respective organization. Still, these students have continued their studies and at least make them busy and prevent them from intense sadness, isolation, frustration, and anxiety. They continue to connect to the outside world and meet even in virtual platform their teachers, friends, and classmates. Although we as educators have our own issues and struggles as well, let's not forget that we have greater responsibility to them. Taking steps to support our educators, our guidance counselors in enhancing their capabilities and potentials in helping our students seem necessary and urgent at this moment. Thus, the intention of our activity today. We aim to provide a venue for discussions, for learning, and for sharing on how to implement student services programs that are more relevant and responsive to the situation. Our speaker today, Professor Silvino Hosol of our Guidance and Testing Center, will shed light more on this. To our friends from the different schools, thank you for responding positively to our invitation. Before I end my welcome message, I want to attest that COVID is real and I am just discharged this week from my isolation, from the hospital to the isolation. And now I can say that I am a COVID survivor. So let us continue to pray that we go back to the old normal very soon. Continue to be safe and good afternoon, everyone.
All right. Thank you very much, Ray. A virtual round of applause, please, for Dr. Reynaldo C. Castro for that opening remarks. And truly, we've done this virtual seminar for senior high school career advocates in order for us not to have that camaraderie and also that vision of helping each other or helping or working out together in order for us to help our young learners breeze their educational journey amidst this pandemic. I know this is very hard, but still once we work together, we can just make a difference and be able to help our dear learners. All right. So before anything else, let us welcome our participants from the different schools here in Davao region and even the Sarangani province, no, we have ang mga participants natin. So just to recognize the schools, no, who are here, no, you can also type on the chat box, no, for your school to be recognized na nandito kayo sa ating webinar. Okay, actually madami talaga yung nag-register, no, for this free webinar. All right. So from Sarangani province, we have Notre Dame Siena College of General Santos City. Welcome po participants. And we also have from General Santos City National Secondary School, Arts and Trades. We also have from South Cotabato, specifically in Coronadal City, St. Alexius College. Welcome po. We also have still from Cotabato, Carmen National High School. And also we have from Sorala National High School. Meron din tayong mga participants, no, from Davao del Sur. We have from Cebulan National High School. And dito naman, no, sa Davao City, we have from Davao Wisdom Academy Incorporated. Welcome po. Philippine Academy of Sakya Davao Incorporated. We also have participants from St. Peter College of Toril Incorporated. Welcome po dito sa ating seminar, no, this afternoon. We also have from Cabantian National High School, Senior High School Department. We also have from Notre Dame of Midsayap College. Welcome po sa ating webinar this afternoon. Okay. Okay, and keep just typing, no, your school, no, para po ma-recognize natin dito. And we'll have a lot of learnings. Surely we'll have a lot of learnings, no, this afternoon because we've invited guests, no, who can really help us, no, in terms of, no, trends and issues, no, in terms of being a career advocate, no, for senior high school, no, na mga students. And so later on, no, after no ng talk ng ating speaker, no, you can chat your questions or even you can also raise your hand later. May virtual hand naman tayo dyan if you want to speak out, if you want to share something, no, with regards to our topic this afternoon. Actually, this Senior High School Career Advocate seminar natin, it has 2 sessions. First ngayon, and second will be on November 5. Now, this afternoon, no, our talking point, no, will be focusing on trends and contemporary issues in career counseling. All right, and we are very blessed now this afternoon because we have invited a guest speaker. Our speaker now for this afternoon is a registered psychologist, a master in psychology, clinical psychology, a school counseling associate, and also the assistant guidance director of the University of Mindanao. Ladies and gentlemen, our speaker now for this afternoon, no other than Mr. Silvino P. Hosol Jr. But before, sir, no, we'll talk about, no, the trends and contemporary issues in career counseling. Let us have first an intermission number to be given to us by the pride of the University of Mindanao, University of Mindanao Chorale.
I'm not a stranger to the dark. Hide away, they say, 'cause we don't want your broken part. I've learned to be ashamed of all my scars. Run away, they say, no one will love you as you are. But I won't let them break me down to dust. I know that there's a place for us. For we are glorious. When the sharpest words wanna cut me down, I'm gonna send the flood, gonna drown them out. I am brave, I am bruised, I am who I'm meant to be. This is me, the conquerors, here I go. And I'm marching on to the beat. out. I'm gonna send the flood, gonna drown them out. This is brave, this is bruised, this is who I'm meant to be. This is me. Look out, 'cause here I go. Look out, 'cause here I go. And I'm marching on to the beat I go. Marching on, marching, marching. I'm meant to be seen. I make no apologies. This is me. This is me.
All right. So again, ladies and gentlemen, our speaker for this afternoon, Sir Silvino P. Hosol Jr. Virtual round of applause, please.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone.
Good
Can
afternoon,
you
sir.
all hear me? Am I on?
Yes, sir.
All right. See, good afternoon, everyone. Let me share my slide. All right. Sige. So, thank you for all of you. No, thank you for being here with us, and for giving time, no, to really listen and talk about the current concerns or current trends on career counseling. This is but timely because we've experienced so much change, no, as the pandemic started. So this afternoon we will talk about the definition. No, we will shortly revisit the definition of career counseling and the primary goal of career counseling. We will also be visiting policies, no? Policy, because it's only one. Policy and the theories behind career counseling. Now, some of the theories behind career counseling. We will also be looking at the challenges and the barriers that we experience, no? At present when we do career counseling, and future of career counseling, and some framework that we can benchmark about career counseling. All right. So let's have first a Q&A. Okay. How would you define career counseling? No. For those who are here, for the audience, no, how would you define the what of career counseling? Anyone? Any volunteer? Or perhaps a tribute? A willing tribute? Or should I call one? I will call one na lang. How about Miss Trixie Cleophas? Miss Trixie? Are you here? Or no? Wala siya. Sige. How about Miss Jacqueline? Miss Jacqueline Cartagenas? Cartagenas. Are you here? Or not? Sige. Now, when we look at career counseling, it focuses on yes, so there are answers on the chat box rather pala. So from Gloria Aparicio, it is to help and guide the students in their career path, no? And for Johnny Vebs, it is to advocating or guiding students through their career planning. And that's very true. Okay, so in general, when we look at career counseling, every author would somehow define it in a very different way or in a very contextual way, but in a nutshell, no, in the center point of all of this definition, career counseling is about really guiding individuals, no, guiding students in our care to create um, immediate and long-term plans about their life in general, about what they want to do in the future and what path they want to take. Okay, so it allows them, no, it we become their guidance, and we become their assistants in allowing them to see and answer specific or even broad questions. No, what is my purpose? Why do I want this degree? Why should I continue in college? No, what are my skills, and how should I leverage this in pursuing certain degree? What do I want to become? Um, what do I want to achieve? Where should I study? What are my available resources? So these are things that we explore when we do career counseling. Okay, so from broad areas to specific things, and it's not really easy. No, it's not a one-shot deal. In fact, at some point, career guidance and career counseling would somehow take throughout the developmental period, no, of the senior high school or the junior high school students. And in fact, some were also uncertain still about their course choice, even though they are already in college. Okay, so all of this will become part of career counseling. Yes, that's very true. We provide assistance, especially for job placement as well. Right? That's why most, no, or almost every school or university would conduct somehow open job placement, wherein they invite companies and allow students, no, to have a one-on-one interview with these representatives from companies. All right. Thank you for your participation, everyone. Now, we have a guiding principle. No, we have a guiding policy about the career guidance or career counseling. No, however, this policy primarily focus on the secondary education, but it will also be affecting the tertiary education, because secondary education is the preliminary or the preparatory area, no, for college life. Okay, so RA number 11206, or Secondary School Career Guidance and Counseling Act of 2019, tells us, okay, that we have to follow, or we have to, when we do career counseling, we have to look at these certain areas or objectives. Okay, so one is to institutionalize a career guidance program for secondary education, meaning that although we are already doing that, okay, through the guidance office, we already have, or most of the schools or all of the schools do have school counseling office, no, or career guidance and counseling office. So the aim really of this policy or of this law is to push forward the reason or the importance of career and counseling centers in each secondary school, especially in secondary schools, because they will be the frontliners of advocating career counseling and career planning. Second, it equips students with the capacity to create educated decision and expose them to relevant labor market. So meaning, as much as possible, it is our goal, no, in career counseling and even in our career guidance offices, to provide information relevant information, updated information about the labor market, about the ups and downs of certain degrees or laws, degrees or courses rather, and about the economic aspect of the choices and options that they are that they wanted to take. Okay. So meaning we also have to be updated. Every now and then we have to update our strategies in career counseling. It is also to ensure that graduates of tertiary education meets the requirement of the government, the industry, and the economy. That's why we have to be always updated with the trend and what's happening outside the school, no, what's happening outside the academic area, because we have to align our curriculum as well in the on what is needed, no, by the industry, by the companies, by the businesses. Okay. And the prerequisite of this all is to create a career guidance and counseling instructional module. There are already, the DepEd already have their own module, okay, that we can of course borrow and use for our career guidance and counseling. But we can also create our own, no, career guidance and counseling instructional modules, so long as it captures these three areas or three objectives. Now, when we look at that law, there are specific things that we have to consider, no? And in fact, that the law also stipulated all of this. Okay, one is capacity and skills, meaning the aptitude. We always have to look at the aptitude and enhance, no, the aptitude of our students. But we have to remember as well that the aptitude should not limit our students. In fact, it should only be their leverage, not their limitation. Okay, it is their leverage, meaning that it can be their best, their strength. It can be their strength, but it should not become their limitation as to what path to take or what course to pursue. Next is accessibility of tertiary institutions. So meaning, as much as possible, we have to also orient them about the courses offered by other schools, no, by tertiary schools, by universities and colleges. Okay, so sa bawat secondary education, we also have we should have um, portfolios or pamphlets, no, of different schools. And as well, we also have to orient them about the performance, no, of each school, specifically for each courses. Okay. Then the labor market as well, no, considering the economy and considering what's needed by the greater economic industry. At present, of course, mas nakita natin, no, due to changes, no, sa brought about by pandemic, it is very essential to have an IT related skills, no, or digital related skills. Kaya perhaps it is projected really that engineering and information technology courses would really rise as well. And expectation of the government, industries, and economy through policies and through their the ordinances. Now, to meet all of these aspects, what we usually do is to follow career counseling theories. Okay, so when we do career counseling as career advocates and as guidance counselors and school associates, we always benchmark, no, or we always lend, no, or depend on our career counseling theories. So one of which is the considered as the father of career counseling, no, is Parson, and the and his theory of trait and factor theory, no. So he in his premise, we have to consider the innate potential of our students, meaning we have to look at their background, we have to look at their innate skills or innate potentials. We interview them, look at also their strengths, no? Provide checklists perhaps, and use this checklist to somehow navigate areas of strength and align this to the market uh, value, or align this to the existing courses or um, existing careers, no, needed by the market or by the business sector, okay, or by the industry. Okay, so meaning for Parson, we have to utilize the data of the student, no, the all of the data, may it be through checklists, through testing, through grades, perhaps, interviewing, and personal analysis of the student, and provide them options aligned with the things that you have discussed during the session. All right. So followed by Parson is the concept of Holland, no, the RIASEC concept of Holland. According to Holland, we can be divided into 6 areas of vocational personality. No, our personality trait can be divided into 6 basic areas of occupation or vocational path. Okay, and we have to align, no, our trait, no, our innate trait to the environment where we uh to the environment that we will be choosing, because when our personal traits and the environment is aligned, then we can be more productive, and our potentials can be of use, um, um, will be used, no, in to its maximum or optimal potential. All right, so um, there are also specific courses na nilagay niya in each areas, no. For example, the realistic areas, it is considered, no, that those who belong in the realistic area should likely choose, no, public health, veterinary medicine, and even dentistry. Okay, for us, for counselors, psychologists, no, career advocates, where do we belong? What do you think? For teachers, perhaps? So more likely we belong in the social area. Okay, so because we tend to, not necessarily tend, but we need to communicate with people. No, we belong to people basically. And we also have supers, life career theory, no, or the career development stages, no, life career development stages. According to supers, our career development is aligned with our developmental milestone. Okay, with our developmental milestone. And this developmental milestone, the core component of our developmental milestone and our career option is basically our self-concept. No, our self-concept is born or somehow growing with us. No, it expands and strengthens as we grow as well. However, this is the this is the gray area for all of these theories because it assumes that all of us, no, that all of us would undergo the same developmental experience, will undergo the same um, developmental options. Okay, so example, if I'm 25 and you are 25, then we somehow think and be concerned with the same aspects of life. Thus, at some point, mm, devaluing the personal, not necessarily devaluing, but at some point, uh, uh, did not put into picture our um, personal vantage point, our personal worldview. Okay, our personal worldview and our personal take about our own development and our own career options. Okay, the another theory um, typically used for career counseling is Trumboll's social learning theory and learning theory in career counseling. So according to Trumboll's and his colleagues, our career decision making should be based on four areas. No, one is of course our genetic endowment and innate abilities. No, may it be intelligence, personality, interests, values, etc. Even talents. Okay, that are usually measured, no, using tests or psychological instruments. However, aside from that, we also have to consider our environment, no? The culture that we are in, the economic aspect of our community or of our country, okay? And our own and the economic situation as well of our family and even the political atmosphere, okay, of our family, of our country. Aside from this, we also have to look at how we approach task, as an individual and how we use our innate potential in resolving this task and how we communicate as well with other people. Okay. And of course, our experiences, personal experiences, may it be planned and unplanned experiences. In fact, for Cronbolts, he somehow used the unplanned situation and unplanned experiences of the individual to navigate, career options. Right? And of course, we have different roles, as counselors. So to prepare them, we have to be very proactive in creating activities, that will enhance their interests. We also have to um, consider the changing climate, the changing climate, such as now, diba? We did not predict that the pandemic will lead us here today, so that's an example. Okay, and many other aspects. We have to be, in short, we have to be very flexible. As Crumbles would say, we have to be very flexible with how we do career counseling for our for our students. But the question is, are these theories enough? What do you think? Are these enough? At some point, we can say that it is, okay, because these are the things that we typically do, no, in career counseling. These are the things that that uh, somehow allows us to help our students. Okay, but aside from these theories, we have to consider some other factors. All right. One is we have to consider the changing environment. The changing environment. We are not stagnant. Okay. Our economic aspect is not stagnant as well. Okay. The academic and industrial demand is also not stagnant. It is dynamic. It is always changing. It is ever changing depending on what the world needs. Okay. I could still remember when I was young, no, around, let's say, 10 years old or 11, it was the period where almost everyone would want to pursue nursing because it's so in demand, no, in other countries, and everyone would want to go to abroad. To the point na nagkaroon ng saturation, 'di ba? So part siya sa changing climate. Okay, and thus at present na sacrifice yung ating mga nurse, no? So that's the sad end ng saturation area. What do we mean by changing climate? Every era would demand a different aspect of career counseling, no? When we look at data as presented by J.G. Murray, in the first wave of industrial revolution, it's not necessarily industrial but agricultural industrial area of revolution. No, it is informal counseling. We ask someone that we know about their job, then or the rural area. When someone visited them, then they would ask informally about what they do. No, and consider this information as aspect where they would decide about their career choice. Okay, on the second wave, no, around 1900s to 1940s, these are the vocational guidance aspect, meaning there are available, no, industrial manufacturing work, no, available in the market, and so um, almost everyone can apply, right? Almost everyone can apply. So it's the era where we do uh, manufacturing related work, industry related work. Um, mm, Labor is somehow increased, no? And on the third wave, another shift is noted, basically because this is the time where psychological testing is put into place and rising. And this is also the time where we also integrated career theories of career counseling. Okay, so that's why we match options of our students from the profile according to their testing result or test result rather. So that's why it is a test and tell campaign. No, we provide instruments to students. We analyze these instruments and provide them options, no, aligned to the results of their test scores. Okay. Then the fourth wave happened. There's a rise in technology. Some work were replaced by robots or by machines. No, so the manufacturing industrial demands also shifted from man labor to robotic or machineries. Okay, so handwork is replaced by machine works. And it did not stop there. Okay, the changing climate did not stop to creating efficient machines, no, to aid us in our manufacturing needs. No, rather it pushes us to no, integrate again our position as a human being to the rising or growing demand of machinery. Thus, the birth of the fifth wave of career counseling. And the focus is not so much anymore on your aligning, no, not so much anymore on aligning our potential to the global market or to the available courses. Rather, we also explore the whys and the aspirations, no, personal aspirations, personal dreams of our students, no. Thus, the life purpose counseling, no. Why do you want to pursue this? What do you want to become? Okay. How do you view yourself? No, how would you imagine yourself after perhaps 5 years, 10 years? Thus, we still incorporate technology, as I've mentioned. It is now the time to position again ourselves, no, in conjunction with the growing technology. So we incorporate technology in career counseling, and we are being pushed really to use technology in career counseling due to the current pandemic. That's why we always do webinar, we always do career telepsychology or telecounseling, right? So well-being matters as well. It's not anymore about what's the high-paying job or what's the most in-demand job. Rather, they also look at students now, no, in or even new graduates now look at their personal well-being. Okay, will I still be mentally healthy if I take this job? Will I still be mentally healthy if I take this course? All right. And because no currently and because of the mental health awareness campaign, they are really open, no, to talk about well-being aspects or areas. No, that's why they are more as well open to counseling. No, they walk in. No, they submit themselves to counseling. And am I making a difference? If I take this course, if I take this path, what difference will I make in my life, in my family's life, and in the world in general, right? A purpose. Now, aside from these waves, all of these waves are affected by certain factors. Okay, as mentioned earlier, one is the global economy. No, it is influenced, of course, by the global economy. At present, of course, due to the pandemic, the in demand are the medical related courses, especially pharmacy, no, medtech, nursing, medical frontliners. Okay, so it shifted, and even the budget as well, no, were shifted to medical health related researches. Pervasive influence of trait factor counseling, the things that we've discussed earlier, regardless of the arising contemporary views, no, such as life design counseling, no. So regardless of the contemporary views of career counseling, we still opt to use factor oriented or trait oriented career counseling based on paper and pen result. Economy and industry waves in the global market as well as mentioned earlier, and the balancing of work-life roles. Because nowadays, students and future workers or employees will not just look at the monetary gain, but will also look at the mental health benefits from the job that they take. Monetary benefits, work-life balance, and their hold of their own time. That's why some would somehow take a more flexible work area or work options, such as work from home options. Um, sorry. Alright. Okay. So can you see my slides?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, um, the at present, no, at present, we will be visiting some literatures. Okay, so at present, we've seen that the current pandemic created an economic concern for those who are economically disadvantaged, meaning they are the most affected. No, students who came from not so wealthy family is the most affected by this current change of the learning environment and the global and the current change, due to pandemic. The digital divide, we have to learn again, relearn, and expound our learning about how to utilize our digital resources. Okay. Aside from that, the career progression as well are also affected. No, some students are quite apprehensive as to whether to continue or not with their education. Others somehow think, no, or become very hesitant to pursue certain courses because of the current trend, no, and the current pandemic and the uncertainties that we are experiencing right now. Although perhaps it would change because we are now moving forward towards face to face, face to face, face to face classes. And aside from that, we have to really look at the effect of this all, especially for our senior high school and for our college students. Now, the uncertainty, no, of many aspects, the uncertainty of many things should tell us that we have to focus on the things that we can control. And that is what? That is our core self-evaluation, meaning our esteem, no, our personal appraisal of our own worth, our personal appraisal of our skill, of our own value, and of our aspiration. Okay, so in the research conducted by Shen and his colleagues, they found out that core self-evaluation is very essential for us to mediate the difficulty in creating career options, in creating career decisions, and in becoming flexible with our career decisions. Okay, so that's why as much as we strengthen the the link between our curriculum and how it addresses the market need, we also have to strengthen the personal esteem, the personal self-worth, and the confidence of our students. For Wen and Mari, we have to contextualize our career counseling. In fact, we have to integrate the current trend and current contemporary theories in counseling. No, we don't rely now. No, we should not rely so much on the person environment correlation, or the person environment factor, meaning the trait factors using test and tell campaign. Rather, we have to allow the students in describing the life that they want to take, no, through life design counseling, through aspiration techniques, no, and future thinking techniques. And aside from that, even if we move forward to, or we move back rather to face-to-face perhaps counseling, still we have to integrate telecounseling methodologies and career group guidance and group counselings, because through group counseling or the group processing, each student, especially senior high school and even high school, would learn from this discussion, right? Now, for Ochoko and T, they've emphasized really the importance of the why, the future planning, no, and the hope, no, the instilling of hope, because all of these things, no, the why, the future planning abilities, no, the creative and proactive future planning abilities of our students, and the context of hope will allow them to become more resilient and more adaptive with their career options, despite anything, no, whatever happens to the economic industry, whatever happens to the demands of time, so long as these essential areas is with them, then they will be very flexible and adaptive. All right. And for Garyot and his colleagues, they look at the integration supposedly of career counseling and mental health counseling. Okay, so we cannot compartmentalize anymore career counseling from mental health counseling. Okay, they go hand in hand, especially after this pandemic. No, everyone is being at some point traumatized by the shift that we all experienced throughout the pandemic. Okay, so that's why after this, or within this pandemic period and after this pandemic period, we should integrate talking about mental health, even though our focus is career counseling. Okay, and how to really regulate ourselves amidst this experiences of trauma. So with all these things considered, okay, with all these things considered, how do we even guide our students? Okay, should we have a sharing first? Who would like to share about their experiences in career counseling? No, anyone? Any volunteer? Any volunteer who would like to share their experience with counseling? Yes, Alodia. Yes, Alodia. You're muted pa. Alodia? Alodian?
All right. So can we ask volunteer from our audience can share their experience in terms of career counseling? May we ask Ma'am Alodia Ann Villacastin, who just raised her hand a while ago. Is it okay, ma'am? Or someone from our audience, our participants, I mean, who can yes, ayun, Ma'am Alodia. I think sir there's a problem with siguro with the signal of Miss Alodia.
Sige, or who else? Who would like to share from our audience, perhaps? Or
Maybe
perhaps later, no, they would share later.
yes,
What do
sir.
you think, sir?
I think sir. Or maybe we can ask Ma'am May Mecarandayo from Davao Wisdom
All right.
Academy Incorporated. Pwede po ba, ma'am? Kung baka later, sir, they can
All
share
right.
their experience.
Nag-prepare pa sila. Gi,
Yes.
gi-embrace nila kayo ang mga na-discuss. All right,
Yes.
sige. We can benchmark to these following frameworks and initiatives, no, in the current pandemic. One, we can, but as much as possible, no, aside from the theories and the things that we discussed with earlier, as much as possible with everything that we do, with our initiatives and whatever framework that we follow, we should not forget the fundamentals or core skills that that any career path should have. And that is one, positive attitude. Okay, positive attitude will always make us and will always make our students more marketable and employable. Oral communication is also important. That is why we have to encourage them to practice oral communication and even written communication. In fact, in the University of Mindanao, we provide programs to enhance their English communication skills. Okay, self-motivation and self-direction should also be emphasized in our curriculum and in our and the way we educate our student. Well, at present, no, during the pandemic period, the students also appreciated. No, some of the students also appreciated the online learning platform because it pushes them to be very independent with their learning performance. Okay, problem solving skills, no, through group activities and teamwork and even good ethics should be um, cultivated to our students or during our counseling sessions. These are fundamentals because these should be uh, carried along, no, throughout our developmental milestone, and this is universal and should be true to any career path, any degree, and any course. Now, as an effort, the Halad to Health, no, an or non-government organization based in Australia, and somehow working with the local local government unit in Bukidnon, because that's their target city, no, the Bukidnon, to enhance their health education there, no. But with the pandemic, they shifted to mental health and even career counseling, no. So with Harvey Quintanillesta, the head facilitator, they've initiated the Pangarap Avenue. Pangarap Avenue is a three-session program, no? Three-session program conducted through Zoom or Google Meet, wherein they talk about their aspiration. No, so it's divided into three. The first session will look at their current situation, current status, no, current course, no, where they are in life now, where they are in their career path. Second is the second session will focus on their opportunities, their aspirations as well, and why do they want to take this career path. Okay, and the session three is cultivating this wise and learning from their facilitators and from other co-members about how to pursue with the career options that they have. The University of Santo Tomas, no, through the USAID stride, created their model counseling and career center, no. So their guidance counseling office became now a counseling and career center. So the focus of the career counseling and career center of UST is to provide meaningful and purposeful career options, no, by looking at three aspects. No, first is it is to provide information, no, information dissemination, information strengthening, and linkages. Second is to training and career readiness through curriculum-based education, and performance-based education through peer counseling and peer support group, and through group activities or seminars. Okay, and the third aspect or the third focus is to connect their students to companies and stakeholders. For University of Mindanao, we have this student academic career development framework. Okay, so we capture all areas, and we focus not only for those students who might be at the risk, but also for students who do well with their education. No, and we provide programs to both groups. Okay, the streams and the stars. For students who may show academic, career, and psycho-emotional concerns, they are provided with interventions and prevention programs, no, through holistic approach from faculty, guidance officers, and from OSA. For streams, they become involved with peer support system by them becoming the peer support and peer tutors of their co-students. Aside from that, they will also be given opportunities to represent the schools in various competitions. Okay, so the goal really of is not just to enhance the academic strength of the students, but also to harness their um, potential, to also harness their core and fundamental skills by targeting and inculcating values throughout their academic development. Thus, the focus of this um, philosophical, um, this stages, no, these stages of academic growth, no, and development. Okay, so for first year, we, as much as possible, we enhance their character. For second year, we strengthen their resilience. For third year, we expound their whys and their purpose in life by looking at how they would use their course in creating a difference to their community, and thus becoming a better citizen. And of course, in the fourth and fifth year level, we cultivate their abilities for lifelong learning. Okay, as as um, as an effort to to somehow mm, to somehow link this, or as an effort of the guidance services and testing center, no, to contribute for the academic development of our students, we initiated various webinars and support group efforts, no, through our peer support, peer facilitators organization, and of course through our guidance facilitators and our psychometricians. Okay, for first year, we wish to enhance their academic adjustment and also their character development. That's why the webinars and group efforts focus really on their readiness with pagbabago. No? Second year, we look at their journey and thus enhance their academic resilience. For third year, we cultivate their stress management skills and even their self-efficacy, because they would carry this strength, no, as they move to fourth year, as they move to their competency appraisal, their career preparation, and their graduation. And last one is cultivating their core and fundamental, and reminding them about their core and fundamental skills. Okay, communication skills, self-concept, sense of identity, personal self-appraisal, good ethics, and so on. All right. To read more on and to learn more about career counseling, I encourage you to read these links and resources. All right. So this is the page of the Guidance Services and Testing Center of the University of Mindanao. Everyone, thank you for listening. I hope you have learned so much with our discussion, and God bless us all.
All right, thank you very much, Sir Silvino Hasol, Guidance Director of the University of Mindanao, for all your insights with regards to career counseling, those theories, literature, and even those frameworks from different university and colleges. Dito sa Philippines, who brought who actually give those inputs in order for us to really counsel our students. Now this time, now let's go to our question and answer portion ng ating webinar. Now this afternoon, we encourage our career advocates, guidance counselors, to chat no your questions, or di kaya you can raise your hand, no, so that we'll be able to recognize you, and also unmute, no, and then give your questions. So we encourage, no, everyone, no, to speak, no, or voice out your questions, no, or you want to clarify something. So we're waiting, no, for your questions.
Or perhaps, sir, you have um, questions with the presentation earlier.
Yes. Sir Ray, baka you want to add up also, sir? All right, so we have question, sir. It's from Ma'am Kren Erojo. It's directly messaged, no, to me. May we know ano po
Alright.
yung ginamit niyo na test or assessment sa students niyo pag nag-career counseling po kayo sa kanila? So they're asking for an assessment or a test, no, that you would recommend, no, for counseling students in terms of their career choice or something.
Yeah, so sa amin, no, for guidance, we use checklist, no, for career. For first year, we use the character formation checklist, no. For second year, we use academic resilience checklist. For third year, citizenship scale, and for fourth year, lifelong learning scale. So it becomes their springboard, no, to navigate their strength as well, no, their innate strength, and to assess them in um in looking at their core skills, no, and enhancing their core skills. Aside from that, we also use, of course, the interest test for grade 9, 10, 11, and 12, no, students. And we also encourage them to walk in, no, to walk in for counseling. Our tests are just guiding. We use our tests as guides, no, not necessarily as limitations for their career options.
All right, so thank you, sir. So do we still have questions pa po?
Sorry, we also use work value scales as well, no, especially for first year, because it's part of their preparation for college,
All right.
for work
Some
pala, preparation for work.
So some more questions po from our participants. Or you want to share something, no, with regards to also your practices, no, in your
So we
school?
use Oasis, no, for as I have mentioned earlier, Oasis na test, Altis Lennon, and Altis Lennon test for career exploration, no, especially sa grade 12 below. Nakamute ka. Yes.
Some more questions po from our participants. So I think no we have no question. Meron pa ba? Can we? Ayan. So here's another question, sir, from Chriselan or Chrisley Ann, sorry, Chrisley Ann Broca. Good afternoon, sir. Do you have any online test po na gina-administer sa school niyo po, especially during this pandemic?
For career counseling, um, for career counseling, we only use the work values scale or work values test, no, through our CAED or career education program. Now the to look at naman the psycho-emotional areas of our students, we use we use um, basic depression scale and other open source tests, no, to screen our student. No, we also use screening tools to look at the psycho-emotional needs of our students. Yun. Pero most manggod, it's good kasi na naatay mental health webinars karon kasi and guidance awareness programs these days, especially during the pandemic, because most of the students would walk in na lang, would submit themselves for counseling. They would message us, they would contact us through Facebook and even through emails and our official numbers to schedule themselves for counseling. Not just career counseling, but also emotional oriented counseling.
Yes, and I think no kailangan talaga ng mga students 'yan na in terms of their choices no of career, and even in the midst of this pandemic no kailangan nila ng parang motivation no to boost no their self confidence no. Okay, some more questions no from our audience. I think most of our questions right now, sir, is really they're seeking no for a test no that will help no, our students no to be counseled well in terms of their career choices.
Yes. There are well-being tests, no? There are available well-being and screening tests, of course. No, but we have to be very mindful of using them because of the limitation of validity and reliability and the standardization process. That's one. But I have not personally encountered an open source career test, no, an open source career test or a test that can be openly used, no, from the internet that targets interests and career options. Okay? So wala pang ganon as far as I can remember. We only have standardized tests, no, that can only be administered in face-to-face approach. Sir, naka-mute ka, sir.
Sorry. Sorry. Okay, another question, sir, from Ms. Crane Erojo. What are some important points you usually emphasize during career counseling po? What are some important points you usually emphasize during career counseling?
Future first, no, the future. What do they aspire? No, what they imagine to be. How do they imagine themselves after college or about 5 or 10 years from now? I've encountered, of course, this is during face to face. No, I actually encountered as well career counseling at present. No, I would share two. First is during the face to face. I've Back then I was the guidance facilitator of engineering program. No, so one of the students or this student approached me and somehow he's a fourth year student and he wants to stop, no, and shift to another course, no? And he's already a fourth year student, so murag sayang na ang iyang effort, no, di ba, murag sayang na because he realized that he wants to pursue tourism because he wants to be a flight attendant. Okay, so we've explored options, and somehow I've psychoeducated him. Okay, so I told him that there's um, no limited uh, requirement. There's no limited requirement for a course, no, to become a guidance, or I mean a flight attendant. Okay, flight attendant. So any course could apply as a flight attendant, no? And at least if he would pursue engineering, meron siyang, kumbaga, meron siyang another option pa, no? Hindi nakalimit yung kanyang mga options, no? So that's one. We look at opportunities, we would navigate, no, opportunities, future opportunities as well, and the practical aspects of things. All right. The second one, this is very funny. The second one is um happened recently, no? So another engineering student approached me, and he was deciding to stop, no, his current studies because he's very tired, he's so exhausted with all of these things, no. He doesn't have time anymore to handle many to handle his studies, to handle his projects, to handle his assignments. Right. So I asked, and he asked me for motivational motivational message. No? So I asked him, no, what are the things na take away si mong sleep? Okay, what are the things na take away si mong sleep? Kasi sleep manggod daw ang isa sa main area of concern niya. Kaya siya mag-stop na lang, di ba, study. So, ko, what are the things di ay stop sa imong sleep karon? No? What are the things na nagakuha sa imong sleep karon? So, sabi niya, Facebook, TikTok, and studies. Okay, di ba? Facebook, TikTok, and studies. So, sabi ko, okay, so mag-stop na kag-study. Kay para mas daghan kag time sa TikTok o sa Facebook. Di ba? So, we have to be very blunt as well with our career counseling process, diba? So after that, he realized na okay, I have to regulate my TikTok and my Facebook time kasi it's taking so much of my time already, diba? So yan, we should not be afraid to be practical. We should not be afraid to voice out, no, the authentic side of us, no, the our thoughts about their struggle and their concerns. Okay, di ba nga sa person-centered approach, it is always important to be authentic and transparent as a counselor.
All right. So thank you so much, sir, for that advice, no, in terms of approaching our students in terms of counseling, no, on their career path. All right. Baka meron pang gustong humabol to ask question regarding on approaching, no, our students, no, mga approaches, no, to our students, especially right now that we are in a pandemic, and yung mga ways natin, no, or parang ways natin in giving learning to students, no, online and also modular, no, there's also a need, no, na meron din tayong mga ways and means on how to approach them, and dapat parang yung school is available, no, para sa mga ganun na mga activities na wherein they can open up, no, their feelings, no, and also ano yung mga nasa isip nila. All right, I think no, we have no questions already. All right, so okay, virtual round of applause please for our speaker, Sir Silvino P. Hosol Jr. And allow me to give this certificate of appreciation to Sir Silvino P. Hosol Jr. for being the resource speaker in the remote virtual seminar for senior high school career advocates in the new normal. This is the session 1, Trends and Contemporary Issues in Career Counseling. given this 29th day of October via Zoom, and this is signed by the Vice President of External Relations, International Affairs Office, Dr. Reynaldo C. Castro. Again, thank you very much, sir, for giving us your time this afternoon to be our speaker. All right. Okay, so no, that's our first session. So we also like to say thank you to our participants who stayed on our virtual seminar this afternoon. And we still have the session 2 on November 5, 2021. And our speaker on that day would be Dr. Reynaldo C. Castro. And he'll be discussing on the role of career advocates in the new normal, especially with the setup, this very moment in times of pandemic. So let's watch out, and let us get excited on the next session of this remote virtual seminar for career advocates in the new normal. And we'll be talking about our role in advocating career to our senior high school students. All right. Okay. So don't forget also just the information of everyone, yung session natin ngayon is actually live on YouTube. So you can share or even review later yung mga discussion ni Sir Silvino Hosol with regards to the trends and contemporary issues in career, Instagram, TikTok, and also Facebook. You just have to search at Unimin Official. And for some career videos or mga seminars po, meron din po tayo niyan sa YouTube channel po, the University of Mindanao Official. So you can check those social media accounts po of the University of Mindanao. So again, we thank you to our participants who stayed on our first session of the SHS remote virtual seminar for senior high school career advocates. And we just want to have feedback from you, our dear career advocates and also guidance counselors. For a while po, we have po evaluation, and after nyo po na fill out po yung evaluation, you'll be given po certificate right away. So yan po yung link po natin for the evaluation. So after po ng evaluation, automatically po mabibigyan po kayo ng certificate. And hopefully you could invite also other guidance counselors and career advocates on our next session this coming November 5, 2021. All right. Again, thank you very much po everyone. And to end this session, another intermission number to be given to us by the University of Mindanao Chorale.
Mama told me not to waste my life. She says, spread your wings, my little butterfly. Don't let what they say keep you up at night. And if they give you shh, then they can walk on by. My feet can't touch the ground, and I can't hear a sound. But you just keep on running up your mouth. Yeah, walk on over there, 'cause I'm too fly to care. Oh yeah, your words don't mean a thing. I'm not listening. Keep talking. All I know is Mama told me not to waste my life. She says, spread your wings, my little butterfly. Don't let what they say keep you up at night. And they can't tame you, 'cause wings are made to fly. And we don't let nobody bring us down. No matter what you say, it won't hurt me. No matter if I fall from the sky, 'cause wings are made to fly. Hey, hey, hey. Firing up on the runway, you know we gotta get there someday. We don't need no ready, steady, go, no. Doctors in
合唱団の皆さんは歌と息の合ったダンスパフォーマンスを披露しました。
Again, thank you everyone. God bless. See you on the next session po of our webinar.
Thank you, sir.
Po.